Hey everybody, and welcome. It's GVO After Dark time, because it's almost the last Thursday of the month. Typically, that's the case, but next week is actually my oldest son's birthday, so we moved everything a week ahead. So that's why I'm here right now. We have more people that are here right now, and I'll bring them in a moment. But first, I'd like to say hi to everybody who's watching from home, everybody who joined us in keeping track just before this. Thank you for sticking around. We are keeping you busy on your Thursday because Thursdays are kind of like that kind of day. So hopefully we can make it a little bit brighter for you. Cornell, Dennis, welcome. Mike and Angela, welcome. Bub031, welcome. Tim from They Make It Like That. Anthony Dodge. How's it going? Roy and Roger. K-Town. How's it going, K-Town? And Mark, M&M Rails. Alrighty. And Justin. Oh, Justin snuck in there. Hey, Justin, how's it going? All right. So, we've got quite a show for you today. We've got a special guest that we'll be bringing in a little bit later. We've got news and other stuff. It's the typical show. You guys have come to love over the past several years. In fact, we're in the 4th season right now. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's still going on, but here we are. And right from the start, this guy, Mr. M&M Rails.
Yeah. So anyway, I gotta go right now. I'm on live. I miss you too, Dave. Take care. Bye. Oh, Dave Co. Hey everyone. Yee! GVO.
Thursday. How's it going, Mark?
I am good. How are you?
Good. All right. We've got so much. I was just saying, you probably could hear everything that I was saying. So much going on. It's actually been quite a busy month. March is one of those months that are really busy because, I celebrate my birthday the first week of March, the second week of March as well. My actual birthday is the 3rd week of March, but I keep going until the end of March. So it's a pretty solid month, I have to say. So, yeah, that's how I celebrate.
I just got off March break, so I have lots of stories to share too that some of you know and some of you don't. But yeah, it's been busy. It's not even over yet.
Oh no, not at all. That's great. So we've got tons going on tonight. So we've got news about Union Station. We've got some stuff that's new in store from Iconic Replicas, Athen, and Rapido. Some new announcements from Bowser, Athen, Kato, and Rapido. Keeping track for those who watched earlier. We're just going to talk about some of the things that I touched on, like Larkspur, Mini Prints, and Iconic Replicas. We've got some channel news, so dates of shows and whatnot, and who's going live when, and you'll want to tune into that part, especially because Mark's going to be on next week. Kind of weird, right? I know, but we'll be there. I did a nope, that's not what I was looking at. We have a special guest, like I said. I'm not going to tell you who that is yet. Going to do a month in review, talk about all the things that we did this past month, including my sit down with Jordan Smith from Rapido Trains. That was fun. I like talking shop, talking about all the trains and stuff.
I know you do.
Love it. And then a special announcement, a very special announcement. So you guys will want to stay tuned so we can share that special announcement. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to special, how special is the announcement?
Okay, so you know how when you order off the normal menu and then there's also the special menu?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this special, it's not even on the menu. You say, yeah, I want that secret stuff that's not even on the menu, not available to the public.
Ooh,
but special. To you. Yeah. That's the next level. So Let's bring in our first special guest of the evening because there's multiple. You might know him as that guy on YouTube. We know him as Tim, but he also goes by They Make It Like That.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey Tim.
What is going on?
I bet you guys weren't expecting that. It was a big surprise.
No.
Oh, you're cutting out now. What's happening
Which part?
here?
Oh, that might have been me. You know, it
I'm in
says
the
I'm
show.
on Wi-Fi, yet I'm hardwired. Really?
Oh dear. It says I'm in the show and I can hear you, but you're like freezing and stuff.
Ruined it.
Oh, hi.
I feel like I need a hat that says like East End or something, or at least a black hat. I just kind of.
I have an extra one.
Can we Photoshop that on him?
I mean, I grew a beard, so that's good.
There you go. If I just hold it like this on the that doesn't work.
No.
It works for me. I can see it perfectly.
So we've got lots to talk about tonight, and Tim, we're gonna do like a mini interview after. You can tell us a bit about yourself and all the fun stuff that you do on the tube, and all the things that you like about model railroading.
Okay.
Cool. But first, in the news, Union Station is the nation's most historic transit hub. It has been through a number of advances and upgrades over the years. These changes continue with the announcement of a procurement deal this past month. It started with a Union Station Revitalization project from 2010 to 2021. They brought the station up to modern standards. The York Concourse was changed from an old parking garage to the new state-of-the-art Union Station bus terminal as the new concourse. Some of the upgrades are delivered in various packages of work, including the glass atrium, removal of heritage steel, installing overhead lighting, widening multiple platforms, and an upgrade to passenger communication systems. This is set to be completed by late 2025. And you're in the GTA. I guess we can call it the GTA. What was the last time you've been through Union Station there?
Oh my goodness. Probably about 4 or 5 years. It was before they renovated it, so it's been quite some time.
It feels like every time you go through there, it looks like a different station. So it's like, you go in and it's like, well, did they just finish renovating or are they starting to renovate? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
the last time I was there, they still had those really ugly brown and yellow tiles everywhere.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then I've seen pictures of it since. I'm like, wait, what? That's Union?
Yeah.
I used to go through there all the time. But then I got a car, so I didn't go anywhere close to transit ever again.
It's true. Unless you're like living like right off the tracks or right by a bus station terminal, then it's kind of difficult, It seems just easier to take a car when you have that option. I've often thought, for those times that I do come down to like, I don't know, whatever, Ajax or something, and then take the train the rest of the way. But I'm like, why don't I just drive the rest of the way? It is what it is. But, you often think about those things. But so we've got some new stuff in store, and I'll just quickly touch on those. You guys had seen in the Keeping Track the iconic replicas HO scale MCI MC9 motor coach bus. Comes in the Canada Coach, Go Transit, and CN. They're $50 each. If you're paying more than $50, you're probably buying from the wrong guy. There's also a very nice, and I don't know who's seen it. I believe I sent you a picture, Mark, because I know that you had purchased a Greyhound bus recently, but there's a Greyhound Canada tribute set. Because how long ago was it that they shut down? Was that was 2020, right? that they shut down, or
Yeah, I
2020?
think the pandemic really hurt them, and they just shut shop.
So yeah, and we had touched on that as well on one of the GVO After Darks. I didn't bother going back because it's a lot of booklets. So, but you can get a commemorative 5-bus set of Greyhound throughout the years. It's $210. It's a very nice set, actually. It comes in a nice book, and you can display it or whatever. And then there's the Athen Genesis GP9 locomotive with the high nose. Sorry, Mark. TH&B CP with the multi-mark, Boston and Maine. You're looking at about $230 for a DC model or $330 for a DCC sound model. And just hitting your local stores, Rapido Trains barrel lower cars in the CN short and long, ONR short and long, and of course the CN short scale test car. You can pick up a single for $54 or a 6-pack for $310. I haven't got mine yet though. So
That bus set, if I had a bigger layout, I'd consider buying the bus set.
See, I think the bus set itself, it's one of those things where, if you just like Canadian history, it's a part of Canadian history.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've all taken a Greyhound at one point.
Yeah.
I saw you mention in the chat of keeping track that you said you almost have more buses than trains.
It feels that way, yes. I think I have about 6 or 7 from Iconic, and then 1 from Rapido. So yeah, it's adding up. I'm gonna have a whole shelf of buses soon.
I actually don't think I have a single bus. I think I need to get some.
The Rapido N scale ones are coming out soon.
What era are they from?
80s, right?
70s, 80s, I think. Like mid to late 70s, early 80s.
I need to find something that's now.
Yeah, super modern.
But everything that I can find that's modern, it seems, is all European.
Are you a picky shopper when it comes to your? I know we're kind of getting into it already. Sorry, I'm just.
No, it's fine.
Well, we're on it, right? Like, are you a picky shopper when it comes to N scale stuff? Because you obviously model N scale.
I really want it to be as detailed as possible, but I know that it's hard sometimes with N scale. In recent years, they've gotten a lot better. Like when I look back at stuff from like 20, 30 years ago, it's like a little oversized and under detailed, but things have come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as like era is concerned, I just want it to match current. I don't really care too much about road names and stuff because my layout is fictional, as long as it's somewhat like Canadian, because I'm modeling what I see, right? Yeah.
Well, hopefully Iconic puts out some buses in N scale, because I think it would be right up your alley. I know you're a big Hot Wheels guy as well, right?
Yeah, I like Hot Wheels, but that's a little big.
Just a little. But the way they're made, very similar, and it has the die-cast metal to them, so they're durable as well. So it saves you from
mini metals in N scale is really good, but it's hard to find something that's modern.
Very true. Very true. So we've got some new announcements that came about this past month. The new P40 True, the P42 that Amtrak did in real time. They did a custom wrap where it was all black with the railroad crossing, a big railroad crossing symbol on the front. Looks very nice. It's the Operation Lifesaver C-Track Think Train. Well, Cato is doing it in HO scale. It's number 203. Cato. And then Rapido with their big announcement, of course, the Turbo Train. And it seems the biggest question I'm getting asked personally is, have I pre-ordered it yet? And I think eventually I'll put an online countdown to the day that I do, which will probably be a week before the deadline, because I procrastinate like that. But yeah, the Rapido Turbo 2.0 with ESU version 5 sound at both ends, which is really neat because they're putting a decoder at each end of the locomotive. There is Via Set 1, Via Set 2, and then Otter Valley Railroad is doing the CN Via Rail, which is the one that reached the land speed record in Canada of 140.6 miles per hour, which is really neat. Then there's two versions of Amtrak, and then a Penn Central, and just the plain white CN. And there's also extra car sets for all of those. So that's neat too. Can't wait to get a 9-car train, and hopefully it works on my layout.
Yeah, so about the turbo, you know how Otter Valley sends out the newsletters?
Yes.
Well, my loving wife was sitting beside me on the couch last night, and of course she gets the email. First thing that pops up, the yellow beautiful turbo that Otter Valley's doing. And she goes, "You want this?" I'm like, no. So are you sure? Are you sure?
Do you?
No.
You want it?
No, I don't want it.
Chris, order it for me.
Chris is getting it, so I don't want it.
Chris, order it for me.
We both can't have a turbo.
What if I got the Via and you got the CN?
There you
And
go.
then we swap every other month.
No, I saw the price is like, eh.
Yeah, it's tough because they changed it from the way that it used to be, where you'd get a 2 locomotive set and 1 car, and that was it. And then you could get individual cars or 2 packs.
Yeah.
At whatever price, because obviously the price has changed. But even paying $500 for a locomotive and then add on the cars as you can. To me personally, that seems a lot better than spending $1,000 right there, for the 2 locomotives and a 4 or 5 car set. Right out the gate. It's
plus, you know me, I'm gonna get it, run it for a live show, put it back in the box, and never see it again. So
you're gonna run it on 03.
What's that?
You're gonna run it on 03.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of my locos are still 03, but I'm able to park them in my yard. So, when I run the actual layout, nothing is really disturbed there. Yeah. It's when I start trying to run in 2s or 3s, that's where the issue is, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
The issue is when you don't turn off those sidings and then you go to run 03 and 15 engines start moving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It is nice, though. So I think Roger wants one. I can't, in the chat here, I'm just reading, and he's hinting that he wants one. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. He's kind of being around the bush.
Yeah, very vague, very vague. Yeah.
He's hinting at it, I think.
James was very excited. He told me 5 times before I even saw the newsletter that he was getting the CN turbo. And I was like, turbo? What's a turbo? No, I'm just kidding. I knew what it was. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be a hit when it comes out in like 18 months. So
I think so.
They're saying, I'm seeing in the chat that it's $700. Is that Canadian? I assume because it's Rapido.
Yeah, I think Otter Valley has it for $7.99 for the 2 locos and 4 or 5 cars with it.
There was a bunch of
American
prices.
friends. That's like $14 US.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's why all the Amtrak ones are going to sell a lot quicker, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, James says $8.49 Canadian.
There you go.
So converted to American, $15
before tax, right?
Oh, right, $20. So you guys actually joined us for the keeping track that happened earlier. Mark, you've been to Larkspur
many times.
Yeah. Is that like your go-to shop, or like? Because I know you live farther, like in the opposite direction than me.
Yeah.
But
well, the good thing about Larkspur is that it's in a quaint little town called Merrickville, and my wife likes little shops there, so we go for a nice, summer drive or whatever, and she does her shops, and I spend my time in the train store, and then have lunch, come home. So it's a win-win for everyone.
I remember one time I went with Dave, and Dave raved about the fudge. So there's a little fudge shop there, and of course he had to go get some fudge. So
yeah,
he's
Gotta
hilarious.
stop the fudge.
And then as well with the buses, you have a couple of the buses yourself, right?
I do. I have the Via bus that you have, and then my wife bought me the Greyhound, which I kept in the box. Like you said, it's a souvenir. I got keepsake. Because I have a very small, I have a very small layout. Sorry. Dinner's coming up. So with my small layout, I have like, a couple of semi trucks and a couple of buses. Boom, full. That's it.
You could very easily have more buses than trains.
Yeah.
Most people will take like they'll either have all the intermodal cars on their layout, and then they'll take them off and then switch them with, like, let's say a whole tanker train. Mark removes all his buses from the layout and puts trucks. That's how much he has. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I really like your Amazon truck, Mark.
Thank you. That's a gift from Chris. Yeah.
That's a cool truck.
That was actually, I need to get myself one of those because they're really nice. The blue and whatnot. Yeah, looks really cool. And they're modern. So that was actually, so in the video, in the keeping track, that was probably the first time I had gone rail fanning in the snow. And I remember someone said, geez, you guys have that much snow? Well, yeah, most of our houses are, built out of snow up here in Canada. So, but yeah, that was the first time I went rail fanning in the snow. And that was my youngest Riker that was with me through that. And he got real excited. He apparently loves waving at the trains. So he had a blast, and I froze that day. So, but it was good. It was good. It's good to get out and, see some trains.
Chris, have you brought your your sled dogs in for their annual inspection yet?
They're
coming up, eh?
Yeah, it's a TikTok. It's or tick time to have that TikTok with your dog right now, right?
Yeah.
I saw a billboard at my local veterinarian. You have to have that discussion with your animal now. So, but yeah. Should we do the announcement? No, let's wait on the announcement. Let's meet our second special guest. Can we do that? Can we bring on our second special guest of the evening?
Sure. Give me a second, okay?
Okay.
Does this second special guest have their own channel too?
To be honest, this was the only special guest I booked. You were kind of last minute, so.
Oh, okay. I understand.
We're gonna give you a hard time tonight, by the way. So
I get it. I was cleaning up and doing some dishes last night, and my my entertainment for the evening was this past Thanksgiving's roast.
Oh. That's it. You went back in time a little bit there.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Now who's this? Who's this guest here?
They got my hat.
Yay!
Feels so much better now.
The brim's
This
a
is
little.
Lily.
That is. I'm gonna go full screen so we can get a good look.
Oh, thank you.
Well, as I accidentally drop him out of the stream. No, I'm just joking. Oh, hey, what the hell? Okay, wait. Let me go back.
Don't swear in front of my daughter.
Sorry.
So this is Lily, 10 weeks old. 10 weeks or 11 weeks now?
10.
10 weeks.
Oh, no, 11 today.
11 today.
Yeah, Boston Terrier.
Yeah, Boston Terrier. And she's going to be a YouTube star. Speaking of TikTok, maybe TikTok. We'll see. Hey?
Somebody saying she's cute.
That puppy is a lot cuter than the guy.
There. Oh. Wait a second. Is that?
Yeah, that's good.
Wait.
Give her a kiss and she'll do her little apple.
He looks just like his daddy? What? Are these compliments or insults?
Give her a little kiss.
Now, can he do any tricks yet? Or sorry, I should say she. Can she do
Yeah.
any tricks yet?
He can't. His best trick is he could be a female.
Just
she
like
can sit, and she comes when you call her. But yeah, lots to go, lots of training to do. So look forward to her in more videos.
now,
And you know what?
she
She loves the rail fan.
I was gonna say, is she allowed in the train room?
She is allowed in the training room, yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that her fan base will probably be bigger than all of ours put together. Probably. People love dogs.
Yeah. We so again, there was our March break last week, and of course, I knew all these plans in my head. Okay, this day I'm gonna work on the train room, and this day I'm gonna post some videos and edit some videos, and then I'll clean the apartment, and I'll go to Larkspur. Always like, wanna buy a dog? Plans out the window. All March break, we're just playing with her. So did nothing in the train room, did no videos, as you know. Didn't go to any train stores. Actually, I did go to a train store. Talk about it in a second. But yeah, our home has been so quiet without Gucci and no dog. So we got her. No regrets. No regrets.
Has she
I'm
said
sorry.
anything yet?
I missed her name. What's her name, Mark?
Lily.
Lily. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Okay, you're done now? Yeah, you want to go. Thank you. Yeah.
You've had enough of you. You're not a squeaky toy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, let's do the announcement then. So it was brought to our attention that we all, as a community, need to get together at the same place, in the same time, in the same area, and basically. So basically, what we're gonna do a YouTube model railroader hangout, and we are setting it, as in it is set. We've got a date, June 4th of this year, 2022. So this June. It's a Saturday, right? Saturday.
Yeah.
We will be meeting at
my apartment. You're all welcome here. You have a barbecue. You can pet the dog. We'll take a trip to Merrickville, Larkspur. I know a local DJ, and Tim's gonna do live graffiti. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna graffiti the side of your car.
Yeah.
Who did this? It says they make it like that. Maybe you should take something that's not you.
Sorry, Chris, cut you off there. Sorry, I couldn't help.
No, it's fine. Your sound funner than mine now. Mine's gonna sound like garbage compared to that.
Yeah.
If anything, everyone's gonna be disappointed now that you're the barbecue and everyone's stuffing at your place, and their car's getting vandalized by Tim. That's not gonna happen now.
Chris, why didn't you talk to Mark beforehand?
You
just made your own plan.
A little bit. I just needed him to agree to be at the same place in the same time. That was it. That was it. And he was cool with it. So I guess. But yeah, so we'll all meet at Otter Valley, which is obviously in Southern Ontario, which is usually where everybody lives. And if you're on the other side of the border, hopefully they'll let you over. And for those who have always wanted to go to Otter Valley and have never had the chance, now you have a bit more of an incentive because all your local model railroaders from YouTube are going to be there. All of them. Well, most of them. Anyone who can show up, basically. And sorry, go ahead.
It's gonna be fun. Fun time. Can't wait.
I did speak with Bernard from Mini Prints, and he said he'd be down. So if anybody's been wanting to buy some mini prints, I'm going to get him to bring some, and free shipping, right? Because he'll be there. He'll put it right in your hand.
They'll ship it right into the trunk of your car.
That's right. I spoke with the Rapido guys, and by the Rapido guys, I mean Jordan. And he said that if the bus, because their bus is in disrepair right now, so they got to repair it.
Oh,
So if they can get the bus going, then the Rapido guys are going to come, which is neat. Because if anybody watches the Rapido videos and they're like, oh my gosh, I like these guys. So you can meet them. And also, if you're a fan of the A Modeler's Life podcast, hosted by Lionel Strang, he was very interested. I reached out to him. He's very interested, and he'll probably be coming down as well. So
really?
yeah, Mr. Strang,
Huh.
you could bring your intermodal car and get him to sign it, because that was the car that he got done for through Rapido.
Yeah.
So, he's a staple in the.
Are you sure it was him and not some like scam artist?
No, it was Lionel Strang.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And
Chris has
Justin
got
wants
the
to drive the
connection.
bus. Yeah. Justin, just because you can drive the bus doesn't mean you should drive the bus. I'm just saying. I'm sure you're really good at it, but these guys get rowdy, so I don't know.
And what time is the meet?
Oh, we'll give the times after. When I make up the times.
Yeah, so you don't know.
So basically, well, this is kind of what I'm hoping. If we all meet at the shop, so let's say like they open at what, 10 on Saturday, probably.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We're all there between 10 and 11. Do a bit of shopping. I know I'm going to do a bit of shopping. We all grab some lunch, and there's lots of tracks nearby. Go rail fanning, and just make a day of it. It'd be good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my thought. Tim, you look excited.
I am excited.
Then tell
I'm
your
very
face.
excited. I've never been there before.
No?
No, I've never been.
Nor have
Oh,
I.
okay.
I've met them. I've met the people that run it at train shows years ago.
Yeah.
Like probably 6-7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never actually been to the store.
Well, let me tell you, you have to mentally prepare yourself, because it's not like you walk into a store and you're looking like this. You're looking like this. You're like, it's above me, below me, to the left, to the right, behind, in front. There's a lot to take in when you go to the shop. So you have to mentally prepare yourself. So,
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. They even have an N scale section. So
Oh, good.
where's Tim? We lost Tim.
Way in the back, though. It's way in the back.
He's in the back corner.
So that'll be fun. You'll get updates on everything as we get closer, but save the date. Save the date.
The N scale section is like one of those gas station washrooms where you need the key and you have to go outside and around to the back of the building.
Yeah, I can totally picture that. I can see it
I'll
all
be back
happening. It's great.
I'll be back there with Sean.
It's actually a cardboard box under the counter. Like, I'm here for the scale stuff.
There's like 7 things in there.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, no, there's it's gonna be lots of fun, and make lots of friends and get to see some familiar faces or see your face for the very first time. So all the most of the mandates are lifted now, so you'll have to put up with this for a day. But
You're gonna shave your beard?
No.
Oh, me either.
Do you though?
I got trimmed yesterday just for the show.
Where? I don't see it. I don't believe it. It doesn't happen.
Mark, did you hear that I watched the Thanksgiving roast last night?
For the first time?
Yeah, I missed it. And I'm like, how did I miss this? I need to watch this. So I watched it. And
It's one of our best.
I laughed so hard when Chris was asking if your hair grows.
I feel like I do that every month, though. It's an ongoing thing. It's the easiest thing. It's not even rude or anything, It's just it's a normal question. I find that
It's
you can
just
ask
funny
them.
because it's so true.
It's very like, you know how like when you have a template and then all the other things are, the same. Does the barber use a template or does it just not grow?
You just copy
got-
and paste. That's all
I
it is.
got all my hairs cut yesterday for the show.
Oh wow.
I
That's
told
the
my wife,
trick.
my hair's like this, and like I have to get my hair cut. It's
That's
GVO
why you didn't
tomorrow.
post it all this month.
What's that? Exactly.
The secret is he gets a haircut every day.
Yeah.
With the so I mentioned that next week you're gonna go live, Mark. So everybody go over to Mark's channel next Thursday for third rail. Is it gonna be a third rail? Yeah, we can call it a third rail Thursday, I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's
Rail
Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. And then next month, as far as it goes, Tim over there. He is going to be on the 7th. I'll be on the 14th. Mark will be on the 21st. And then we'll be back here for Keeping Track and GVO After Dark with another special guest that's not Lily or Tim. We got new guests every single month. It's awesome. And that'll be on the 28th of April. So this past month, Tim, you celebrated a birthday.
Sure did.
You had a birthday party for your Third Rail Thursday. That's right.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
That was fun.
Did you finish the cars?
What was I doing that week? That was the one.
The big and the small, I believe.
Oh, that wasn't for the birthday stream. Those ones I haven't touched since. Because I was going to finish them probably on my next Third Rail Thursday.
Hashtag Gainth.
Gainth. That's right.
Yes. That was the Canada grain car was the one I did on the birthday stream.
That's right. Yeah, that one looked really good. How'd your brother feel?
He liked it.
Yeah.
He was glad that I covered up that other tag.
Yeah.
Here, let me grab it because in case people missed it, they can see it. Just 1 second.
Hey, Happy Valley. Yeah, next week we'll be over on Mark's channel. I know it's kind of a weird month this month where it has 5 weeks and whatnot, but I'm super busy next week, so Mark decided to do a live, and we're pushing everything a week ahead.
I got lots to show you. Lots to show you.
Wait, what do you mean lots? Wait, can you give us a hint?
Yeah, I went to a train store and bought stuff.
Oh, right. Okay, I remember now. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
No worries. Yeah, so this was it. This is the one I did on the birthday stream. It has my son's name here. And then on the other side, I started to do a tag here and I didn't like it, so I went completely over it. But Mark reads all the graffiti phonetically. So it's
Jim really likes that, so I do it.
Yeah, it's Gainth. So then I wrote Gainth here another time.
I actually had guys texting me and messaging me in my inbox hashtag Gainth. So it seems to be the new thing.
It started a revolution.
That's right. Yeah.
I'll be handing out T-shirts at the meetup at Aller Valley.
Yes, and
nice.
it has to. Can we take that the gain and then the TH there and then like take that physically and put that on a shirt? Can we do that?
That would be very cool. We could.
Let's bring that to life. Let's do that. The people have spoken. Game.
Yeah, Mike is asking in the chat that my brother didn't want it weathered. He didn't because he has way too many grain cars. He didn't want to start that or open up that can of worms.
Well,
he's worried. He was worried that if he had one Canada grain car that was weathered, he'd have to do all of them.
I hear
And
that.
I'm just not ready to start that yet.
Yeah.
They do look really nice and shiny when they're brand new.
Yeah, I mean, even this one, there's probably about 4 coats of dull coat on it now after doing several, like, in between layers of graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very dull compared to when I started. So it's still gonna stand out a little bit, but at least it's not like grimy. And all the rest of them are shiny and new.
That looks good.
Because if that bothered him, we could just dull coat all the rest of them, and then it's not sticking out.
We'll talk more about the cars though. But yeah, that was the one that you worked on the Third Rail Thursday. So if anybody missed that and you want to go back and see it, make sure you like and subscribe. They make it like that, and give Tim a follow because he's doing some fill in here for Dave, and he's doing the Third Rail Thursday for the first week of each month, unless something changes. But we'll notify you if anything changes, right? And then, Mark, you were running trains for your live, which was last week, I think.
It was?
Yes. No,
Yeah,
you were
I
the
think it
first. You were the first week. Never mind.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It was a while ago.
You can tell that it's been a busy month. I can't remember anything.
Yeah,
So,
my last live show was that debacle about trying to program my CP rail, which I keep meaning to ask around. I want to ask other YouTubers if they had trouble programming. I keep forgetting to do that because it's
Worst
still on
case.
0.3.
worst
I
case,
had-
you can do the whole thing with the lock sound. No, it doesn't even have lock sound. It has tsunami. So I'm not sure if Dave would even be able to do it. But
Yeah. It's not a huge deal, but it's a little embarrassing. Like, watch how easy this is.
I had the best time watching your stream. It was so funny. You're like, oh yeah, no, it's easy. Let me just try it one more time. You do the exact. It was literally the definition of insanity.
That's how I teach. That's every day in my classroom. All right, kids, let's easily just like 10 minutes later. Sir, are you okay? You're really red in the face. Everything's fine. Just give me a second.
I forgot how to use the smart board.
why is my chalk on fire?
Oh my god.
Unplug, plug it back in.
Yeah.
Wait 10 seconds.
And then so you never sorted that out. So this is your call to arms. Basically, anybody who has any information on changing the CVs, or at least the number for the 7022 locomotive from Athen Genesis.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search in YouTube, the 7022, and then like Ben from BA Rail System there, he did one. Sidetracks did one. So I'm gonna ask them if they have Digitracks, if they programmed it, and then hopefully they say, oh yeah, I had trouble too, or hopefully they say, oh, it's easy, you just gotta do this little trick. So we'll see. I forget out of sight, out of mind. So I keep forgetting to ask.
Bubs makes a good point. You should speak with Perry because he's got a truckload of Athen Genesis.
Yeah.
So he might be your guy.
Does Perry use Digitracks too?
I don't know. I know he does at the club, so he's familiar with it.
Yeah,
So,
true.
I know a guy.
Yeah,
His name's Perry.
you always do.
He's very helpful. And then I of course, like I said, I had a very busy month. Mini prints, they've been really good to me. They sent out a couple of different packs of the minis of the month, so make sure you go check out mini prints. And I did a birthday show, and Bubs joined me for that. We had fun. We were running some trains. He brought over some really cool stuff to take a look at. Locomotive that actually Perry weathered. I got some cool presents from Mark, and I was showing off my new Northlander, which I love that thing. I was so worried, like, this thing is not going to work on my layout, and it's going to be a $500 display unit that's
Yeah.
gonna never get used.
No, it's so nice.
If anything, that gave me like, the push to say, you know what, a turbo will work. If that worked, the turbo will work. So
Yeah.
that was the saving grace right there, and half the price. So not bad. And I was lucky enough, if you guys had seen, just the day before my birthday, I was live with Jordan Smith from Rapido. Always delightful talking with Jordan and talking shop, and you guys know every time I do this show, I always talk about all the things that are coming out soon and all the things that are hitting the stores. I like doing that with the manufacturers too, because they've got a lot of pictures and more information than what I do. So definitely, I'm looking forward to doing more of those in the future. And I told him, I said, if any of the other Rapido guys want to get in on this, like, let me know, because they're I know most of them, and they're great guys. So I'd love to have them swing by the channel for sure. But enough about me, even though I was made like that. Let's talk about Tim.
Do we have to?
I mean, we could, but we're being broadcast right around the world right now, so we'll be taking questions and whatnot from around the world too. So, Tim, you fell over.
Yeah, I fell over.
You're so excited.
I was ready. Here, hold on 1 second. Have a look at a train.
Oh. And now, besides the camera falling, this is a glimpse at what you could see when you go over to Tim's channel, because he's very, very good with the camera and editing and whatnot. He actually did a layout tour of my layout when it was like half done. Well, it's still technically half done, but I mean, like, when the main line was half done. Yeah, really nuts. So he had come out here and we had chatted for a bit, and then he set up his professional equipment, and that's when things got real. I hope you guys got a chance to see that video as well, because it was really, really well done, just like most of his other videos. So I wonder what he's doing. There's only so much I can say.
He's putting a costume on or something?
I think so.
What would you say, Mark?
Are you putting a costume on?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, God.
He's his own mascot.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. You guys ready?
He comes out looking like a hopper. I don't know what I'm going to do.
No, it's going to be pretty sweet. You guys are going to be shocked.
If he has a Gucci outfit on, he's won the internet. I don't even care.
Oh, man. No, my tripod got loose there for a second, so I kind of had to jank it back. It's still not 100%, so it's a little crooked. Just after you made this great speech of all my professional gear.
It was quite the setup that you had. So what exactly? We can kind of talk about that, because I'm sure you've had a lot of views on that video. So why don't you talk about the setup first off? What you did in order to achieve such a cool video, and if you want to share, do you have clips from that, or because you're going to share clips with us as well of different things too, right?
The clip I have is just the one that we were talking about before with Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to just see the video to know. But no, it's a series that I've always wanted to do, where I just visit different people's houses and check out their layout and kind of get to know the person behind the layout and all that kind of stuff. And you were my first candidate.
Any regrets?
No, it was great, actually. I mean, the only downside was you weren't finished your helix yet, so we couldn't actually run a train all the way around. But yeah, I know how that goes. I get it. Yeah, so it just worked out where my family wanted to take a trip to Ottawa I had never really spent any time in Ottawa before. I'd just kind of driven through it. So when I found out you were from Ottawa, I got super excited. I reached out and was like, I have to come and see your layout because it looks impressive. And it really is.
Thank
Had
you.
a great time. So, we came, we set up some cameras and filmed a bit of the layout and then interviewed you. Got to know the man behind the 3-level HO layout. It was fun.
It was my crazy in a nutshell, but yeah.
No, I think I was the crazy one because I'm like, park a train here. It's going to look better in the background. You're like, I don't even know if I can get a train over there right now.
Yeah, really.
Now I'm sure you can because your
yeah.
main line is complete.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun time.
And you brought this little gem.
I did.
This was a custom job done by you for me. Subscribe. And
so I wanted to plug your channel a little bit and also give everyone a subliminal message every time they see that car to remind them to subscribe to your channel.
It should have said they make it like that.
I'm sorry?
You should have had it say they make it like that. So it's like,
right.
Like, I want you to run this.
Here's a nice gift for you. It's actually a billboard advertising my channel.
Actually, funny story. I'm gonna get because Walthers makes HO scale billboards, and I want to put I'm gonna get you guys to make little cards that would fill the billboard, but also it would be like an advertising as well for your channel. And I think it would fit perfectly all around the layout and people would see it. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Project that
really
I'm
cool.
now mentioning for the first time. But yeah.
Do you guys know Osborne model kits?
Mm-hmm.
Their business card is a little kit where you can make a billboard.
Oh, neat.
And it works out really well for N scale. It makes like a nice rooftop sign for HO scale, but in N scale it's about the size of a billboard. And so I have that on my layout, just of course advertising Osborne. But
whatever works.
That sounds really cool. I like that.
So we're going to get to know you a little bit more because you've been doing this whole Third Rail Thursday thing, and I want people to know more about you if you're comfortable with that. And if you don't like the question, then you can just say pass, and
we'll come back to it later if there's time.
I'll come back to it. I'll slip it in there somehow. So where does the name of your channel come from?
Okay, so it actually started with an inside joke with myself and my brother. We both go to train shows, or I guess we'll be starting to go back to train shows now, but we've been going to train shows for quite some time, and we always joke about like people often say like, oh, I don't have a lot of space, so I have all these really tiny buildings. I can't have a big building on my layout, and those trees are too big. And I'm not saying everyone's like that, but there are people that are sticklers for scale, but they don't realize that there is actually big trees in the world. There is actually big buildings in the world. There are like, it just became this running joke where they make it like that. That tree is big because there are big trees. That building is big because there are big buildings. The end. They make it like that. And it was just this running joke. And then when I said, hey, I'm thinking about making a YouTube channel where I do graffiti and model trains and stuff, I said to my brother, I'm like, what should I call it? He's like, isn't it obvious? They make it like that. So that became
I think it fits. It's very original. It's very original.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me laugh every time, and that's great.
And so we can find you on obviously YouTube. Where else can we find you?
I have a website, theymakeitlikethat.com. That'd be the easiest way to get in touch with me. And then I have Reddit, but I don't really use it all that much because I find that Reddit is a bunch of angry people. I'm
Between that
discovering
and
now.
Discord.
I'm sorry.
Between that and Discord, but
Oh,
yeah.
it's ridiculous. Like there's a model train Reddit, and I've posted some stuff on there before. It's literally just called Model Trains, and it's
Mhm.
got a bunch of people, like a bunch of members and stuff, and I've posted stuff to it. And then just out of the blue, I get a message saying you have been permanently banned from Model Trains. Like that's the whole reason I joined Reddit. So yeah, I don't really use it all that much anymore. It's honestly just a bunch of angry people. So I have my website. I hope to have a gallery on there eventually, and some inventory that's for sale if anyone's interested. But for now, it's mostly just a bit of an about me, and then some contact information if you're interested in having cars done. And then, of course, YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube. Yeah. So what do you find gets the most foot traffic?
In what
Or
sense?
traffic? Like, do you find that more people are contacting you on YouTube opposed to?
You know, it's actually kind of funny. A lot of people reach out in the chat of lives. And they say, "Hey, I've been meaning to send you an email," or I see you, Roy. I didn't realize I didn't respond to you. I'll have to send you an email when I'm done here. But yeah, that case in point, people will just shout out in the chat and say, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some cars. Let's get in touch." And then it usually then leads over to the website and then contacted through there.
And I see Mark was nice enough to put the link to your channel up in the chat there. Let's get him to 1K. If you don't already subscribe.
I'm 48 away from 1K.
There you go. We can find 48 people for you.
I'm sure people know people.
I know some people. They're in the chat. So when did you start your YouTube? And what made you want to share, what you do with the world?
Well, I've always kind of been sharing what I do, because pretty much as soon as I got into the hobby, I realized that there wasn't any graffiti and hardly any weathering that I could see. Like I only went to maybe 3 or 4 shows a year, so I didn't see a lot. Like I wasn't really watching YouTube, so I didn't see a lot of what other people were doing around the world. But in my circle of 3 or 4 shows, I didn't see a lot of weathering, and I especially didn't see any graffiti. So I'm like, okay, that has to change because they make it like that. And so I started doing some graffiti on one of my N scale cars, and my brother saw it. He said, "Wow, that's cool. Try it on some of my crappy HO scale cars that I never run anymore in case you mess them up and it doesn't matter." And so I did that, and then that turned into doing some cars that he cared about, and then that turned into having tables at shows and selling my work. And then from there, it was always in the back of my mind to do a YouTube channel, but it wasn't until the lockdown. There was no shows. I'm like, well, what do I do now? So I thought now's the opportunity to start a channel. So I started, when did I start? Early 2021, I think. I believe so. I'm not 100% sure when I started.
Wait, can we go back to the train? What's a train show?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's this thing they used to do years back. I don't know if you remember them or not. You might have to ask your grandfather or something, but usually in like a rec center or a school gym or a church basement, people get together and they sell trains.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's amazing.
If we got together and we brought people together, we could sell trains, and that would be a thing. People would go to that. I'd buy into
I think so. You could coin that.
Let's coin that. Actually, James would like to know roughly when graffiti started becoming a thing.
Well, that, James, is an excellent question, to which I don't know the answer to. I would say probably. I mean, graffiti has always been a thing. You know, like in the 50s, people would write their phone numbers on bathroom stalls and all that kind of stuff, right? But I watched a lot of Happy Days growing up. But but I think it really took off when spray cans became readily available. So whenever that was, that's probably when it became something that was quick and easy versus, a brush and a paint can. And then it's just evolved from that. And now, like, when you compare graffiti of today, like good graffiti of today to graffiti from like the 80s, it's totally different in the style.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is just people are always trying to one up the next person. And there's so many different spray cans you can get now, different tips that you can get for spray cans, and like that give you different lines and different effects and all that kind of stuff. And it's really just taken off from there. So I don't really know when it started, but I would guess anytime that they invented the aerosol paint can.
Have you ever seen those big, like the big, thick tip markers?
Oh yeah, the chisel tip.
Yeah. Those are
Those
crazy.
are really cool too.
Oh man. Now you obviously talked about the why and whatnot, but let's talk about your layout and the actual hobby for a moment. So,
Sure.
what do you model?
I model modern N scale in fictional, I guess you would say central Ontario, maybe. Like, and I model mostly CN, and then any road name that I like that runs with CN at some point. It doesn't matter where in North America, but if I've seen it coupled to a CN and I like it, then I'll buy it. So that includes like BNSF, Norfolk Southern, CSX, like all these different road names that run with CN, but mostly CN.
Oh, okay, right on. And for your current layout, point to point or loop, can you talk to us about your actual, like, your physical layout?
My layout is, and then I should have actually had a clip ready for you to show you, but there's a video on my channel about it. It's an inverted figure eight. So it's basically a figure eight that's folded on top of itself. And so there's an incline and then a tunnel over, like, underneath itself, and then back around, and lots of rock work, lots of trees, fun times.
Nice.
It's, as far as size goes, it's just under 4x8. It's actually kind of a funny story. I said to my dad, I was still living with my parents when I built my layout, I said, I'd like to build a train layout, but I don't have any money for lumber. Like, do we have any lumber that I can use? And so my dad's like, oh yeah, there's some 2x4s behind the garage. And I think there's a sheet of plywood back there. Knock yourself out. So, I mean, he didn't think that anything was going to come of it. He thought, you know what, just let this kid play. And that was how I played growing up, building things out of scrap wood. And so the sheet of plywood that was behind the garage was actually, it was a 4x8 sheet, but then I guess something was cut off of it, and it's kind of roughly 3.5 by 7.5 feet, but it's not even cut straight. It's like something was cut off of it with like a skill saw or something. So it's kind of not square at all. But I built a table to go underneath it, and I didn't care what it looked like underneath. I wanted to run trains, and I'm happy with how it looks above the surface. Below the surface, it's a nightmare. And if I was doing it again, all over again, it would be completely different. But you got to start somewhere.
Now, is the reason why you do N scale, is that based off of room limitation, or do you just lean to it more? Or
yeah, I mean, there's kind of two reasons why. The first is obviously space. I was living with my parents, and I didn't have a ton of space. I knew that if I went if I went N scale, I could fit twice as much stuff in the same amount of space as if I had HO. So that was my main reason. And then the bonus to that is my brother has HO and he models the exact same, like CN, fictional, anything else that runs with CN, including BNSF and Norfolk Southern, all that stuff, right? So we knew that if we went to train shows together, once we're both into trains, we'd be fighting each other for the same stuff. So being in two different scales but looking for the same stuff actually works out really well, because then it becomes a game to try and see how much of the same stuff we can get. So there's actually, I think we have like 3 or 4 locomotives that are the exact same right down to the road number.
Oh, nice.
In both scales. So it's always fun. And then, of course, the stream I did a couple third rails back, where I did the HO and N scale, same graffiti in 2 different scales. That was one of my cars and one of his cars. So when they're done, they'll be matching, but on 2 different layouts.
That would be fun to see. Are you gonna be doing that on the live, like on one of your lives?
I think so. Yeah, probably this next one. I'll do a little bit more on it. And then if I get to the weathering, then I'll do the weathering as well.
Nice.
See how long it takes.
Quick shout out. Hey, Ethan. How's it going? Thanks for
Hi,
joining
Ethan.
us. And so now you said that your layout design is kind of like a figure 8, but it's looping on itself.
Yeah, I wanted to get as much runtime as I could on that table. And then I put switching in the middle because I like to do switching, but I didn't want it to be like, if it was just one loop around, and I'm doing switching, and because I like to run interference while I'm switching. And if I'm switching and then a train comes by every 15 seconds, that's not fun. It's kind of just in the way. So at least now at a prototypical speed, it takes about between 1.5 to 2 minutes before it touches the same track twice. Maybe a little longer, depending on how long the train is and how hard it is to pull up the grade.
And in regards to graffiti, when did you start doing the graffiti?
I've been doing model trains for about 11 years now, and I want to say about 2 months in, I'm like, hey, there's no graffiti, let me do this. So
you just naturally picked it up, saw it, and you're like, that looks
well.
cool.
I had always been someone who doodles, like in class and stuff. So like I was in high school when I got into model trains, and yeah, so I would just doodle ideas and stuff in my notebook instead of taking notes. And yeah.
Now, Mark, did you want to show the car that Tim did for you?
Sure.
If you like, I can play the clip.
Yeah, what do you want to do first? The clip or the show thing?
Let's show the clip.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it.
Okay, we'll do that, and then I'm going to go and add that to the stream, and then
Nope, I don't need that one.
No,
just make my face full screen, and then
make you full screen.
Make me full screen, and then we're good to go.
Bam. I don't think we have any audio on that.
No?
No.
Oh dear.
Did you have audio?
I did have audio. Hang on.
Do you have earphones plugged in? That's the tricky part.
We lost him.
I'm here.
Oh.
Here, look at a train.
You know, Dave Cole was once N scale. I think we can convince Tim to go HO, just like we convinced Dave to go HO again.
Yeah, So I was having a conversation with Tim the other day, and I told him exactly what happened with Dave, with the whole. We hounded him and hounded him, and then I knew one day we'd get that call, and one morning I got a call from him, and I was still in bed. That's how early it was. I think it was like 1 p.m, and I got a call from him, and he said, "We have to have a conversation," and I'm like, "Oh, here it comes." Here it comes. And he's like, I'm thinking about going back to HO. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
sorry.
knew it. And I was like, that was the most awake that I had ever been.
He's back.
And he's back, baby. And
Mark, can you hide my screen? Or Chris, can you hide my screen for a second?
I can hide your screen for a second. Absolutely.
Cool.
So, yeah. And now we're going to do that to Tim. Because, you know, we'll make him like that. I told him that we're gonna give him a hard time tonight. I think
I'm gonna buy him like a really cheap HO scale car once a month, have it sent to him, and then eventually just have a whole collection.
You should call it like the Change Your Mind Foundation, and every time he receives a HO scale car, it's a slight little reminder that he needs to change his mind.
Yeah,
for just pennies a day. Now, I can't hear him even if he is talking or saying something. So we'll probably have to check in with him in a minute.
Okay.
Because I see that he has something going on there, but I don't know if he has audio yet.
I think he's testing the audio, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tricky on the StreamYard. I remember my first time too. You got to play around with it a little bit.
Yeah, it's really good if you're just showing a picture, but
yeah,
you want to be able to hear the picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim needs an HO of the month club.
You're next, Sean. You're next.
Mark and Chris, I sent you guys a pic of a 60-foot box car I bought yesterday. Or caught. Sorry, I thought it said bought. The writing is really small.
That's nice.
Oh.
Let's see if Tim can do that one for us.
What does it say? Does it say something hype? Some bar hype?
Yeah. Is that C? C-A-E-R? Care hype?
Oh, that looks really neat, though. That took a lot. You can tell that took a lot. Oh, we got him back here. Okay, let's see here.
Can you hear me, Chris?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I think when I'm not on the screen, you can't hear me.
That's correct.
Because I'm like, Chris! And you were just talking away.
Yeah. I do that.
Really quick, do you have audio now?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I mean, if you want to play it without audio, we can do that because it is a visual thing.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll let people know what it is. You're going to post that after this to your channel,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so it's going to go live after the live.
Going live after the live. So if you guys want to, because there's no talking in it, right? Like you showed me.
No, it's just
music.
Nice happiness.
Yeah. Okay. Well, go ahead and play it, and
okay, cool.
We'll go full screen here. And then for those who want to watch it with sound after, can watch it with sound after when it goes live on your channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There you have it.
It's a
Dang.
really good tribute.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's better with sound, but at least you get to see it.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm very speechless.
I can't get onto the chat.
Shall I show the?
Yeah.
Yeah, you chatting?
No, but I can't get onto.
Oh,
We'll
so
put you as a solo there.
Okay.
And you can.
So I got a box in the mail. Had no idea. And Chris and Tibbs said, open it up right before the live show. So okay, had no idea. So I pull this out, which is awesome in itself. That's a nice enough gift. And it's like, okay, I think I know what's about to be pulled out here as well. And then he shows, and then it's here.
There we go.
Yeah. He's never looked cooler. And I mean, it's the weathering and the graffiti. Tim's videos don't do his real work justice. I gotta say, when I saw this in real life, I mean, the weathering and yeah, I just noticed there's a little small M&M here on the Gucci.
Yeah.
I didn't see it before. I saw the video. I was like, oh, cool.
It's really hard to pick all of that stuff out with a camera.
Yeah.
I think I need a better lens.
No, you do such great work. So now I have two things that I always wanted. I wanted a keepsake of Gucci in the train room, and I was trying to think how to, honor him in there. And I have graffiti from They Make It Like That. So 2 in 1. So Tim, thank you so much. My wife and I love it.
No problem.
I'll run it next week on the live show. It's yeah, I'm speechless. It was a total shock.
No problem. Like I
Very,
was
very
saying to you earlier, I had the idea to do that when I found out that he wasn't doing well. And because I had seen some of your older videos, and I know you always used to like to feature Gucci in the videos as like a joker, and like he's getting into trouble all the time and causing havoc in the train room and all of that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, the train community is missing him just as much,
Yeah,
So
thank you. He's actually one of the reasons I started the YouTube channel and going kind of going back into the hobby. Yeah.
that's really cool. And he has looked cooler actually when he was record scratching.
He just went with the flow, right? That poor dog.
Yeah.
That you did with?
So yeah, Lily has big shoes to fill, or big paws to fill, I guess.
Lily will do great.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Okay, so
Now I gotta weather all my boxcars now.
There you go.
now is that going on the layout or the wall?
Well, you know what? This I might frame
Hmm.
for the wall, and this will go on the layout for sure. So
That's
cool.
cool.
That's
So cool.
great work.
Yeah.
And the other side of the car, I honestly was just testing out a new technique I wanted to try with the,
No, it's good. Yeah.
with the patchwork. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can be a guinea pig.
Yeah, it looks really good. The really nice patch job there.
Again, the video doesn't do it justice, I think. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I need to get a better lens so you guys can see what's going on.
But yeah, don't forget that video is going to go live when we're done here tonight, and you can go check it out with sound over on Tim's channel. Don't forget to give him a like and a follow, and leave a comment. Letting us know your first video that you had seen with Gucci or one of your favorites. I think that'll mean a lot to Mark. So, hey Perry, thanks for joining us tonight. You're done my 1740. Oh, neat. Yes, I really like the pictures that you sent, and we were talking about you earlier. That's the guy I know. Mark, Perry. Mark has a question for you if you're still there, in regards to you have the military units, Perry, I'm sure, 7022. Are you familiar with just or sorry, what DCC system do you have at home? Because we're just wondering how you were able to change the number that was addressed to your locomotive. I think I got that right. I think I got all the words out.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Bob's just saying that he does have Digitrax, so
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's
I
funny.
might,
I've always heard mixed things about what system people use. I honestly got Digitrax because everybody else around me had Digitrax. And I thought, if I'm going to learn a system, why not learn something from everyone around me?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know why everyone says that there's like easier systems out there. Because I mean, I find that like as long as I've been doing the DCC game, I've been using Digitrax and I don't find it like difficult to use. It's just no matter what system you have, just like switching from PC to Mac, it's still a computer, but you know, different. It just looks different, right? So you have to learn it either way, and
yeah,
you learn by doing, I guess. But Tim.
Yes.
Now, what kind of tools do you use when you are doing your graffiti?
I use a little bit of everything. It's honestly been 10 years of experiments. And even now, every car I do, I try something else new just to see what happens. And if I like it, I'll do it again. If I don't like it, then we just don't talk about it. But mostly, I use paint markers. They're quick and easy, and they're becoming more and more readily available with places like Amazon and Michaels and stuff like that. But for the most part, before that, I was using just white acrylic paint to put a base coat down, and then different colored pencil crayons. And sometimes I'll use different colored acrylics depending on how vibrant I want the colors to be. And yeah, I mean, I can show you a couple examples if you like.
Yeah.
So here, I showed this to you already. This is the car that I did. This is the car that I did last Third Rail Thursday. And if you look here, you'll see this is just acrylic paint. I did a gradient with a couple different colors, and then the outline is with paint marker, and the highlights are with paint marker as well. But then for a more subtle look, you can do something like this, where this is done with a white base coat and then pencil crayons. So you can still get the gradient with the different colors just by using different colored pencil crayons and fading it together. And then the blue around the outside is also pencil crayon as well. And then the paint marker around the outside to give it the rich black.
Do you find that one is easier to use than the other?
Yeah. The paint marker goes on easier, but it's also a little more risky, because if your paint marker tends to put out a little bit more paint than you're expecting, you could have a disaster on your hands. So you have to be really careful. I don't know if you've ever used a paint marker, but there's the tip of it. When you press on it, it goes inside the marker, it's on a spring kind of a deal. And then the paint comes down and floods the tip. And then that's where the paint comes from. But if you press too hard, or just if it feels like it will just pour paint out of the end of the marker. So you have to be really careful not to actually press the paint marker on the car. I've done that before, and it's not fun.
Yeah, it just floods.
Yeah, so I think it was best that I learned I started the way that I did with the paint and the pencil crayons, just because there was a little bit more control there. But now that I'm using the paint markers, I find that if I just want to do something real quick and easy,
Mhm.
or just to give a completely different look, then I'll use the paint markers.
Oh,
But I
okay.
switch it up so that you get different looks, right? Like
Mhm.
this one here is like the pencil crayon look. So it's a little more subtle. And then you have, like I showed you before, this one, and this one here is N scale. These are all of these have been in videos, so you've probably seen them before if you've seen some of my videos. But this one here is done with acrylic paint as well, but it's a neon acrylic paint. So it actually glows in the dark,
Neat.
which is pretty interesting. It's funny because I just needed a yellow, and it was the only yellow paint that I had.
And it just so happens to glow in the dark.
So it would glow in the dark. So I thought, great, I'll just use that. And
Now I've got a question here from Discord from username etfoamhome638. They would like to know if you have ever or would ever graffiti a locomotive.
graffiti, probably not. Just because I don't really see it all that much, unless it's like an abandoned loco that doesn't get used,
Mhm.
where it's just like they get at it and it's just covered. But unless I see it for myself, where there's actually graffiti on a locomotive, then I'm gonna leave it alone. I do weather my locos
Mhm.
when I have time. I haven't really done much of that because I'm always doing other graffiti and whatnot. But that's always the plan, is everything on my layout is going to be weathered because everything in real life is weathered.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Is there do you go off of like reference books or off the top of your head, or do you
Some of it is off the top of my head. Well, a lot of it is off the top of my head. This one here that I was showing you, this was an example of where I saw a car on Google Images that I liked, but I didn't want to copy it because I don't necessarily like to copy everything verbatim, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if the actual graffiti artist were to ever see it, to be like, hey, you copied me. So I just changed some of the words and just copied the style and the colors.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then most of the ones I've showed you, I've just kind of done just off the top of my head. This one here was from another video showing the 3 different kinds of graffiti, where you have the tags, which are like these little scribble guys here, where people are just trying to get their name seen as quickly as possible in as many places as possible. So it's just something it's kind of like your signature, right, or your autograph. And then this one here is a throw up, where it's really bubbly style, really fast. You can get a lot of coverage in a short amount of time, and be seen from a farther distance. And then a piece, which is more of an art piece, or like a mural kind of a deal.
Nice. Looks really good.
And then, of course, buildings and stuff too. This is a kit that I put, a DPM kit that I put together. And then that wall was looking a little bare, so I graffitied it. The diorama that I built that for was originally an older era, but then I thought, you know what? Let me just put some graffiti on this so people can see that I also do buildings instead of just cars, because graffiti's everywhere, whether you like it or not.
We're just going to take a quick minute. I just want to remind everybody that Mark is going to be on live next Thursday for Third Rail Thursday. He's going to take the last Thursday of the month, and then catch him live this June at OBR. No, save the date, and yeah, we'll all be there. But yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go. Chris only paid me for an hour and a half, and he can't afford my overtime. So Tim, it's been a slice. Thanks again for the car and the graffiti.
Thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
no problem.
My wife
No
and I love
problem
it.
at all.
My kids are gonna
I
love
can't
it.
wait to see it on your layout.
Yeah, next week. But yeah, you guys keep going. Don't let me stop the party, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
See you guys.
His rates are crazy high. So
I know.
yeah, but there's still lots more to cover though. So sorry, you were showing us the building.
Yeah.
And I like it. I mean, let me put you full screen for a minute so you can show a bit of a closer.
Yeah. So
Okay,
there it is.
you can really see the brick still, which is very realistic because obviously, it gives you that texture to it, right? The texture.
Yeah, I'm all about the texture. I was actually, like I said, everything is an experiment. And even painting this building was a bit of an experiment too, because I had never done brickwork before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really happy with the result. I was a little nervous to do graffiti on it, but
You've got a question from Sean here. Sean wants to know if you have done any tank cars.
yeah, I've done some. I don't have any tank cars. Well, I have a few tank cars, but I haven't bothered to do any of mine because I'm always kind of doing other people's stuff. My stuff kind of takes a back burner. But I have done some. I don't have any examples right now, but it's in the works. I'd like to do some tank cars just to shake things up a little bit. I've done a lot of box cars and grain hoppers and auto racks and stuff like that on my channel so far. So it would be.
Is there one that you specifically like working with more than others? Like, do you prefer a flat surface or something?
I mean, certainly there are cars that have easier surfaces to work with. Like grain cars and like covered hoppers are a dream, especially like ones like this. It's just a blank, like really light surface. It's almost like, it's basically like drawing on a piece of paper. You don't have to worry too much. Whereas like as soon as you get into box cars and stuff like that, where you have all these ribs and things, it's a little harder to get the pencils and the paint markers and all of that in there to make it follow all of the little grooves and whatnot. And then same with auto racks. Obviously there's that texture of the grates on the side. I don't have any auto racks to show you right now. I just sent the one in my last video. I just sent it back to the person it belongs to. It's not as hard as a box car to do because it's really flat, but obviously the texture causes issues sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And so now we can normally find you on a good day, at a train show with a table set up, and you would be doing graffiti on the spot, or selling what you currently have that's already graffitied. People are able to come up and say, "Hey, I just bought this car. Can you weather it or graffiti it for me?" And
yeah, absolutely. That's kind of how I've done shows so far. Like in the past, I just have a table, and sometimes I'll start a show. I don't even have anything for sale yet, and I'll literally right before the show opens, I'll do a speed lap around the show, and I'll buy some cars, or I'll bring some that I haven't started yet, and I just get going because sometimes people don't realize that I'm actually painting the cars. They just see cars with graffiti for sale. And they think, oh, that's nice, cool, great. And then they move on. But when they see that I'm actually doing it, then that's when they stop and have a look. And maybe they'll buy a car, maybe they'll bring one back. And then the perfect thing is that if they don't have a car with them, because not everybody brings cars to a show to say, yeah, if there's somebody there that's doing graffiti, hopefully they'll do my car for me. But you're at a train show, buy a car. And then bring it over and I'll do it for you.
Well, obviously, when you're working with paints, it takes a little bit longer to do a car. But
Mhm.
Alex here was, or sorry, no, Alex, Derek was asking how long
Super thing.
or how quickly it takes to do a car.
It depends on how extensive you want to be, and what you're using. So obviously, like I was saying, the paint markers are a little bit faster, and when you get into more detail, it takes a little bit longer. But on average, I would say, and another thing too is I do multiple cars at the same time. So like I'll start something on one, and then while it's drying, I'll set it aside and work on something else. And I just kind of juggle maybe 5, 6, 7 cars at a time. And then it typically takes 1 to 2 hours, depending on the extensiveness, if that's a word.
So from your brain to the car, that's it. 2 hours is roughly.
Yeah,
what you're looking
approximately.
at. So let's.
I mean, you've seen my live streams where I'm talking with the chat and working
Mhm.
on a car, and it's usually about 2.5 hours, and I'm not
Mhm.
doing anything else. Like I'm not juggling cars. I'm just doing one or two.
Mhm.
And because I'm talking to people, it takes a little bit longer, so I don't get to the weathering or anything like that. But
Mhm. So for those who haven't really seen your process, can you walk us through your process from idea in your brain to a car in front of you?
yeah, sure. I mean, so even in the even in that little video clip that we played earlier, um, it kind of shows the process as well, where I just start with a sketchbook. Usually, I sketch out an idea real quick. So I have like this guy here. You can see, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see a little bit.
Let me go full screen with that.
And then let me darken this as well. So if I
Okay.
darken that,
Yeah.
there you go. If I
Go
darken
up
that, you can see. So that's the sketch I did for Gucci.
Yeah.
Just rough, just so I can see the letter placement and if I like how it looks in that font. And then I'll take that and I'll switch to a pencil sketch on the side of the car. And if I'm feeling brave, I'll just go straight to paint marker on the side of a car. It depends on if I've done it before. Like if it's something, because sometimes I'll repeat different things. Like this love one I've done probably 50 different times because it's quick and easy and you see that kind of stuff everywhere. But yeah, so I'll start with a pencil sketch usually, and then from there I put down a base coat depending on the color of the car. So like if it's a covered hopper that's gray, I don't necessarily need a base coat, but I might put one just so that it covers up any reporting marks on the side of the car that I don't want to bleed through.
And for those who don't know why,
because they make it like that.
no, yes, because they do. But technically, I mean, in the real world, if you covered up the reporting marks, they would just repaint the whole thing, right? They'd get rid of the art, right?
Yeah. So like this one here, what I did was I taped off the road number, and then I did the graffiti over top of it. And after all of the weathering and everything was done, I peeled it off, and it kind of looks as if either the graffiti artist masked it or TTX repainted that square and renumbered it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the idea that I was going for there. Yeah. So then from there, I do the base color. Sometimes, like for example, with this one here, I did the gradient with the different colors. So I'll do that as my base, and then I come in with a paint marker and do the outline. A few highlights, a few little tags here and there. Like you can see, if we go here, you can see little tags even over top of the graffiti itself, because sometimes you get people graffitiing graffiti. How many times can we say the word graffiti in one stream?
We can fit in another 60 or so. So
Okay.
Let's start with graffiti. There we go. That one's free. Speaking of free, if you're comfortable with it, somebody, where did it go? Mike would like to know, what is the normal charge to do a car?
Well, you said speaking of free, it's not free. Because I got kids to feed. But yeah, so typically for HO and N scale, they're the same price because it's the same amount of work usually. So that's $50 a car. And then if there's any shipping involved, then the shipping would be involved as well.
And that includes like weathering as well. So the car.
Yeah. So that's start to finish, from a bright, shiny new car to graffitied and weathered. And it's the same for both sides, graffiti on both sides. Now, if you get into something like, I wish I had the car to show you, but the car that I did in my last video, the auto rack, that was almost like graffitiing 4 cars. So, with the amount of work and like the different layers of graffiti and stuff like that. So with that one, it would typically be a little bit more. But just as a base reference number, it's $50 a car.
And I think you can do a plug here because Sean was asking what the significance of our hats are, and the whole East and West.
Did anyone notice I switched my hat?
Oh yeah, you're wearing the Western one now. You were wearing the all black one earlier.
Let me know in the chat if you noticed.
I did not notice. I noticed now, but
that's so funny. Okay, so these hats are from the company Sterling Society, and that is a company that is owned by a friend of mine, and he came out with these. I believe these were the original ones, if I'm not mistaken. The white with the blue brim, and then it came in West End and East End. They're Ontario license plates. So this is what, if you're not from Ontario, this is what our Ontario license plates look like. And then West End and East End it typically, like he's from the Greater Toronto area, so it could mean like the East End of Toronto, West End of Toronto, but it could be anywhere. Like I gave you the East End hat because you're from the East End of Ontario, and I'm farther west than you, so I wear the West one. But yeah, so these are the first ones that came out. He also has downtown as well, which is really cool. And then the one you have is not the leather one, and that comes in blue and red. And then this is his newest one. This is black leather. And he has dad hats and toques, or if you're American, beanies and different things like that. So it's a little bit
very comfortable too.
A little bit of fun for Ontario. And I honestly just thought, you know what? He gave me hats to wear because he wants his name to be seen. And I like to wear hats. So I thought, if I'm going to wear a hat on my YouTube channel, I might as well advertise for a friend.
Bubs is wondering if he's going to do a back 40 hat.
I don't think so.
I was wondering if he was going to do one with like area codes, like 416 or the 905,
Well, there is actually a hat company in Toronto called 416.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't work.
So I think they've got that one covered. But
yeah.
But yeah, I keep bugging him. I'm like, you need to come out with all these different things so that I can have them. It's like, I'm not worried about your business model or anything. I just want gear.
Let's see this. Showing you, or there you can see first pickup. Okay, so with your videos now, because you obviously you have the things that you do, which is the graffitiing and whatnot, but you do such a good job putting it all together and in such an awesome format too. Like when you're, it's very professional.
Well, thank you.
So what kind of tools do you use for those? Because a lot of these guys do videos as well, and they're often wondering, how do I get better lighting, or what kind of camera do I use? How do you achieve your level of awesome?
First of all, thank you. I am an aspiring videographer and video producer. So it's kind of been a hobby turned side profession, if you will. And eventually I would like to make it a full-time profession, if that's how things play out. So I had all the cameras and everything already. And then my wife, if you don't already know, has a YouTube channel, Couch Mom Club. So when the pandemic first hit, she said, okay, well, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. Now's the time. Since you're home, can you help me? And then that just became her channel. And so then we acquired more gear, more cameras, more lights, different things to make her channel happen. And then when I decided, okay, I'm going to do my channel, I thought, well, obviously I'm just going to use what I already have. So then that became the, multi cameras and the editing and all of that stuff. So typically my videos have between 2 and 3 cameras at any given time to show what I'm doing. Even like, for example, obviously in the stream, I have 2 cameras here. Sometimes I'll have an over the shoulder camera to show a little bit closer up what I'm doing on the car. And then I use Adobe Premiere Pro for my editing.
Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, is that something that you would have to go to the store to buy, or is that a download somewhere?
Well, you pay for it. It's a subscription, and it's all online.
Yeah, a lot of people do really enjoy OBS as well.
Yeah, I use OBS for my streams. OBS is free, which is great. And then, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but there's tutorials on YouTube for anything pretty much. So you pick it up. And then, And then don't be scared by Adobe Premiere Pro. There's definitely some free editors out there and some cheaper editors out there that you can use. But this is just what I have that I use. It's the same with cameras and stuff like that. It's because I wouldn't have gone out and bought the camera that I have to do train videos because that's a little bit excessive. But because I'm already using it to do other things, I already had it.
That makes sense. So what type of future plans do you have for your channel, your layout, videos?
Oh, so many plans. So many plans. Hang on, I don't want my camera to time out. 1 second. Oh. There we go. So many plans. It's just finding the time to actually execute the plans. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I have 3 kids under 4. So that keeps me busy.
Well, absolutely.
But no, I've said, and I have to kick the habit of promising things in my YouTube videos. I've done it so many times where I'm like, oh yeah, I promise I'm going to do this in the next couple weeks. And then 6 months goes by and I haven't even thought about that, but yeah, lots of different ideas, different things I want to try, not even just with graffiti, but I want to get back into doing more airbrushing and more in-depth weathering with different mediums, because right now I just do a really quick and dirty method for weathering, which works, and I would say it turns out pretty great, but there's always room for improvement, and there's room to try different things. So honestly, if I'm trying something new, I'll just film it and see what happens. And if it ends up sucking, well, then I'll show you what not to do.
That's completely fair.
Yeah. And then of course I have my layout, which your layout's never done. So there's always going to be different things that I want to do on my layout. And I was going to do an expansion, and that was one of the things I promised in my earlier videos. I'm like, I promise I'm going to build my layout and you're going to see it. It's going to be amazing. And then I decided to switch gears completely and not expand my layout, but build a second layout. So I don't want to give too much away because it's still a great big secret, but I plan on building a second layout as well. It's just a matter of, like I said, finding the time to start. Hopefully this summer I'll break ground on that, but we'll see.
Hopefully.
3 kids under 4, man.
Yeah. No, and for me, it's like my oldest is turning 9 in a week, and my youngest, he'll be 6 in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And it's like, where did that time go? You
it's
remember doing all these things, and them, because when you had Teo on your live, how old is he now?
He'll be 4 in June.
Like, he was talking like he was 20. You know what I mean? Like, they grow up so fast.
It's ridiculous. And it's funny because I'm looking at him like, where did the time go? And then my second is almost 2. She'll be 2 in April.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking like I remember Teo talking a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when did you learn how to use sentences? What's happening here? And then my youngest just turned 6 months today. And I'm looking at her thinking, like, you were literally an infant like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Now you're crawling around on the floor and getting into trouble with the rest of them. So yeah, they definitely keep me busy. And I mean, that's I would say more fun than trains, if I'm being honest.
Well, and also being able to
that's
share.
When you get them involved, right? That's when you bring Teo down, and he always likes to help. And by help, I mean ask a billion questions while you're trying to get a little bit of work done.
And that never stops either.
No, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to bring him on my live, just because that first little half hour or so before he goes to bed is always super entertaining.
Mm-hmm. He looks
never
like
wants to talk about trains either.
No. Well, he was sharing all his Hot Wheels and whatnot. I think. Yeah. You got to get them, into it while they're young, and share those memories and whatnot. Like, when I took my youngest rail fanning, he had no idea what he was in for, and these things tower over him. They make a lot of noise, so it's right up his alley, right? And being there and waving at the train, and then even the conductor leaned out the window and he was waving at him, and I think that made him feel like the biggest person ever.
Like that man took time out of his busy schedule to wave at me.
It's the smallest thing. I mean, whenever I go, I always give them a wave and they give me a wave and whatnot. But, for a little guy like him, he probably thought and felt that he was like the only one that's ever been waved to. And I think that it's special.
Why didn't anybody else think of this? Like, this is great.
I should do this more. You don't even think about the cold at that point. You're like, oh, look at this big thing. So
that's fun. We have right by our house, there's we're not too far from the tracks where we are. Mm-hmm. And there's a walking bridge that goes up over the tracks, over the CN, like the main CN and VIA line. Mm-hmm. And I think the GO train runs under it too, actually, because right where I am, there's the GO train shares CN line.
Yeah.
And so there's been times when we've gone up over that bridge just walking through, and a train will come, and obviously we have to stop and wait for it. Mm-hmm. And they don't normally honk under that bridge unless there's people on the bridge. And then like my son was kind of scared but excited all at the same time because it was so loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good times. I actually want to, that's another thing. Like we were talking about things we want to do in the future. I want to try and scratch build that bridge because I think it would
That'd
be
be
really cool.
I'm
Like,
sure you get some really good pictures of it too, and
oh, for
details.
sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not modeling anywhere specific, but that's what's fun about having like a fictional layout. I can just say, hey, I really like this bridge. Let me just tuck it somewhere and then call it a day.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you've got a lot of plans, a lot of ideas, and you're more than willing to share all that with all of us. And do you have a contact? Because I do remember that there was some people in the chat there that do want some cars done. Is there an email that we can share?
Yeah, so the best way to get a hold of me would be to go to my website, theymakeitlikethat.com. And then through the contact page, if you fill out the contact page, it will go directly to my email, and then I will email you back. And Roy, if you're still here, I will email you back as soon as I'm done here.
That's perfect. Other than that, I mean, yeah, we've talked about a lot tonight, and we lost Mark there, I think about 30 minutes ago, but you did an awesome car for him as well, and I know he really appreciates it, and we definitely wanted to check with him beforehand with this. We've all had, an animal, a pet. We call it a pet, but it's really a family member that we
for
lose.
sure.
And I wouldn't be able to handle that if that was me live, but kudos to him. Definitely. It was a really nice gesture that you did for him, and I know he really, really appreciates it. Speechless is the biggest form of flattery.
Not a problem at all. I mean, I appreciate that you suggested that he open it before the live, because I don't know, that would have shut down YouTube if if he opened that live. I think it would have been an issue.
Yeah. There's just some things that when you're, I don't know how you'd word it, but it's like certain things, they have a better sentiment when it's shared as a more intimate experience, as a smaller thing than a larger, everybody look at me kind of thing. So
yeah.
I could appreciate that, and I could definitely understand anyone else who would want to, or who would prefer that kind of way, for sure. But other than that, we talked a lot tonight. We got to know you a little bit better, and I really hope that if you don't already subscribe to Tim, go over to his channel, go check it out, follow, subscribe. He's going to be doing the Third Rail Thursdays for the first week of each month, and next week we've got Mark. Like I said, next week is my son's birthday, so I'm taking the day off. So everything happened tonight, and then Mark is next week, so we'll be over on Mark's, and then the following week, the first week of April, will be Tim.
Hooray!
Do you have any plans?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish the 2 cars in different scales with the same graffiti. Maybe not finish, but at least work on them. Depends on how far I get. Which is saying something, because I never have a plan for Third Rail Thursday until like Thursday afternoon. I'll be driving home from work and just, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll do this.
you and Mark are the same like that. It's fun because it's always it's going to be random. Whatever it is, it's random. You
can almost guarantee that it will be graffiti when I do a live, because that's the easiest thing. I can just, even if I don't have anything from anyone else to work on, I can just pick a car off my layout and do it.
I have some big stuff coming up with the layout, my layout as well. I'm going to be reworking some of the top level, and you'll probably see or hear some video probably the first week of April, because I always do a month in review, basically, as to all the new updates with the layout and anything that I've worked on and whatnot. So I'll give a good once over of what I plan to do with the top of the layout, now that things are kind of like more like I'm making my way up, you know. Most people would say start at the top and then work your way down, but of course I have to do everything the difficult way, and I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up. So that's just how I do things. But there's that, and there's the YouTube meet in June. So you don't have to really tell me if you're interested or not. You can just show up. Like I said, I'll have more information on that, and yeah, we'll all meet at Otter Valley because that's fun, and I'm pretty sure that's local to most people in the Greater Toronto area. I mean, it's not too far of a drive, at least. For me, it is. It's like 7 hours for me to drive.
Yeah, it's
from
a bit of
Ottawa.
a stretch for you.
A little bit.
But I appreciate that you picked a store that's closer to me, so I don't have to drive 7 hours.
That's the spirit. Well, I think I'm probably going to come down on the Friday, to be honest with you, because I mean, like I can do the drive. I don't like doing the drive, and if we're all going to be there in, like, you know, if it's around like 10 or 11 that we're going to be there, that means I'd probably have to leave, you know, at 3 in the morning. And let's face it, I need sleep, you know, I love sleep. So, you know,
sleep is good.
So I'll probably come out there the night before, and then just trek the rest of the way. You know, I'll come down to the GTA on the Friday and then just continue on.
On the Friday, you should hit that pizza place you were telling me about.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'll make sure I get a big pizza, and then I'll bring you some, because
it'll be like we'll turn it into a 2-dayer.
Oh.
We'll have like a pre-show meetup at the pizza place.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was gonna say, because like last time you came out here, I mean, you didn't get to stay very long. I would have loved to, you know, have your family over, and we could have had a barbecue or something, and
that'd be fun.
I think my family was gone camping though, so that's why I was home alone. So
yeah. I think we're going to a cottage at some point this summer. Yeah. But other than that, we don't really have any big plans for recreational activities. So who knows? Maybe we'll come back to Ottawa.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
I had never done that drive before until this year. This past year.
It's not terrible, but it's terrible. I mean, like, you know, it's a long drive, but like I've got a bad back and, you know, a million excuses as to why I don't want to do it, but then I still do it because, you know, it's kind of like following the rainbow. What's at the end of the rainbow? Well, Otter Valley, you know.
There you go.
You know, I've done the day trip just down to Markham to Rapido HQ, you know, and then drive home same day, and it's it's exhausting, and I'm usually down and out for at least a day, you know, day and a half after I put my, you know, mental exhaustion to the test.
I don't think I could do it there and back in one day.
Oh,
that's a lot.
Yeah. It's well, I did it with the when the LRC cars came out. I left at like, what was it, 4 in the morning, and I got there by 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then I was there for about an hour, 2 hours, and then I left, and I came home, and I got home at like 10 at night, and it was brutal. Like I was dragging.
Yeah.
Dragging by the end of it. So.
Actually, the first time I went to Ottawa, I didn't really stay in, like, I didn't see Ottawa. Let's put it that way. I went when I was a kid. For a short while, my dad drove a car hauler to help out a friend of his that has a car hauler business, and so he had to do a run to Ottawa, and so he was like, "Tim, do you want to come and keep me company?" I'm like, "Okay, sure. That sounds like fun." So we got up. I don't even know how early in the morning. It was still pitch black. It was probably like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I obviously slept most of the way there. And then I woke up in the parking lot of a car dealership in Ottawa. And I helped my dad unload all the cars. By help, I mean I climbed up onto the truck and jumped in each car and drove it off. And then jumped back in the truck and drove home. We had lunch and then drove home again.
Yeah.
And that's all I really remember of Ottawa until just this past year when we drove out there.
And you know what? That's probably the most excitement you'll probably have in Ottawa. I'm not gonna lie.
There's your layout.
Well, there's that. I don't really classify myself as part of Ottawa, even though I'm like 20 minutes from the core. So I don't know. It's whatever. I grew up in Brampton. I grew up in the Toronto. I was going down.
Well, you're not missing much in Brampton either.
Well, no, but I mean, like for myself, like I would go and take the GO bus from the city center downtown, to Yorkdale, and then I would take the subway right downtown.
There you go.
And I'd go vinyl shopping. I'd go record shopping and whatnot. Yeah, it shows my age, I know, but I'd be hitting all the spots down there. Street meat. Oh man, you're living. You're living your life at that point. Yeah, that was my youth.
Sounds like fun.
It was all right.
You should put that the skate park that's under the bridge in Toronto?
I heard about that. Yeah.
You should put that on your layout. That's got lots of graffiti.
Yeah. That'd be neat. I gotta find someone that would. Now I know Mini Prince does the little 3D skateboarders, which is neat because that'd be easy, but I need the ramps and stuff too. So
I'm sure we could carve that out of foam, no problem.
Yeah, probably. There's a lot of questions about the June 4th. It is June 4th. Anybody who's on YouTube and whatnot, and model railroaders, we're all going to go down to Otter Valley. We're going to do a lunch of some sort and probably do some rail fanning. June 4th. That's this June, which is a Saturday. Not the I think you said somebody told you the 25th there, Sparky. No.
That was a hypothetical. I remember we were talking about that, but
yeah, that was one of the options. But I think that's your son's birthday that day, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so we way push that. We're not gonna do that on the birthday. So we're doing it right at the beginning of the month and start off summer properly this time, shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, man. With some high fives.
High fives, yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be looking for high fives. But thank you so much for coming on here tonight and sharing your hobby and your skills and whatnot. And thank you for obviously taking the reins with the Third Rail Thursdays.
No problem. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
And I know we have a lot of fun. A lot of people love watching. So keep doing what you're doing. And I can't wait to see what else you come up with, and we'll be watching.
Well, that's good. I'm excited. I have more video ideas than I know what to do with. So
and we'll have to do another collaboration soon too, because
absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be filming the whole day when we meet up in June. So
that's true. So
there's gonna be lots of content from that day.
That's gonna be fun. That'll be fun. I can't wait to see the end result of that. That should be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
Other than that, guys, that was GVO After Dark, Season 4, Episode 4. Are we still in March? Yeah, March.
Yeah,
March 24th.
March 24th.
When is this month going to be over? It's so long. Okay. Well, either way, Tim, thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone in the chat, thanks for watching the Keeping Track and then jumping over and joining us on GVO After Dark. Next month, lots going on again. So make sure you're following, subscribing. M&M Rails, he had to bounce early, but make sure everyone's dropping by and saying hey to him on next Thursday, because he'll be doing a Third Rail Thursday on his channel. Tim, do you have anything for the people? Any words?
I literally just set my video to go live. If you want to watch that little video that I did for Mark with sound, it's on my channel now.
And
you just got the notification?
I just got the notification because I hit the bell and I'm notified when you go live or you post a video. So Everyone
That's
else is
what you're
important.
supposed to do.
It makes sense to me, right?
You're supposed to hit the bell because YouTube never tells you when you post.
I remember
Unless you
back in
click
the
the
day
bell.
when I would have to call all my friends and say, "Hey, I just posted a video." But when they add the bell, and it does it for me. So it's helpful. So
It's a good time.
it's a good
That's
time.
awesome.
Everybody, you have a good night. Thank you so much, and we'll see you real soon.
All right, I got a train to catch, man.
You
I'm
have a
outta
train to
here.
catch?
Yeah.
They make endings like this.
Awkwardly.
Awkwardly. They make it
Awesome.
awkward like that.